Hi, I'm Kelly, and I am learning to trade futures. If you are also learning, I welcome you to join me. So, yesterday I saw this trend and I thought it was really interesting because I thought it was a very nice textbook example of a trend, sort of. And I wanted to practice marking it up and look at all of the features of it to sort of do an anatomy of a trend. And I wanted to share that with you. Let's look at what was happening. First, we had something up here that looks like more of a trading range. Like we're just going up and down and sideways. We're not really in very much of a trend. And then we have a breakout. We broke out of this trading range and went down, 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 and like a lot of very red bars. But finally, we had a change right here on this bar, this green bar. We went down, couldn't close, went up, 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 and it was finally, I guess I would say it's a reversal, or we're changing the trend at this point. So that gave me my first low of the trend. And then as I watched it, it went up and it went back down, and now we have a second low. And once we have two lows, we can connect those two lows. And so two lows is like the bare minimum of what you need in order to draw a trend line. And that gives you a tentative trend line. So now we have a tentative trend line. And some people trade on a tentative and some people want to see three before they start trading. It's really up to you. But it's important to know that at this point, the upper channel is not really set because we went all the way up here. And then we came here is our next high. But if you notice, this high right here is lower than this high. And that's not really what I would expect in a typical upward trend, in a typical bull trend. So typically we would expect this sort of stair step pattern where this high, like we have one high, two highs, three highs. Each high is getting higher and higher than the last. And each low is getting higher and higher than the last. But here we're still increasing in lows, but we're not increasing our highs. So this part is still messy. And I'm thinking that's because the trend has just started and it hasn't really matured yet. So we have another high right here. And again, it does not break the high of this previous high. So we still haven't quite formed a channel. And we come down, we almost touch the line, but then here we fully touch the trend channel or the trend line. And we touch it actually twice right here. So we have 1, 2 makes the trend line and 3 validates the trend line. You could even say it's 4 that validated the trend line. So at this point forward, we know that this trend is in play and we can feel pretty confident about going long. Okay, so then after that, once the trend is validated, we start to notice that I think it kind of becomes more mature. The whole thing starts to get more clean, I guess you would say, more structured. And we come up and we form our first higher high. Look, you see this is like this high, and I sort of drew a line. And now this high is higher than this high. And actually, this high is also higher than this high. So, and now we are starting to form a trend channel, which gives us this top line up here. And then when we come back down, our trend line is further validated. So now we have 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, 5 touch points. So I would feel really good about being long at this point. And we come back up, we touch this trend channel top line again a second time, and then we touch it a third time. So now we definitely feel good about this top of the trend channel. And we come down, but we don't come all the way back down to the trend line. And then we start kind of just moving more sideways. We're kind of losing some momentum here. We try to come down and we try to come up. We try to come up here. Like we're really trying to push up with these 1, 2, 3 bars, but we can't quite make it up to the top of the trend channel line again. And that is sort of a clue. If you have an upward leg that doesn't go all the way up to the top channel line, that can be an early clue or indication that something might be weakening in the trend. So now we start moving down. And at this point, we actually exit the trend. We break all the way through that trend line and close below that trend line. So on this bar, or maybe the second bar after it, I would know that this trend is no longer in play. So if I was in a long position, I would want to be closing at this point, and I certainly wouldn't want to be entering a new position at this point. Once there's a break in the trend, I would want to wait to look and see what's happening with the market before I would make a decision at that point. So that is the anatomy of a bull trend. I hope that was helpful for you. I know that it was helpful for me to fully mark it up and take a look at it. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.